Unscripted.
You know, it's funny because for as much hate as I get for being a fanboy one way or the other, I have to say I try to keep it as plain and simple and as honest as I can. And so when something like this comes up, and yes, it's as negative for the PlayStation 5. I mean, Sony realistically has to figure out some kind of workaround for this to keep people happy. I know, like, for me personally and more reading into it, could be a big deal. And I think that a lot of people are going to be upset about it. And the fact that Microsoft has a solution for their console and Sony doesn't have a solution for theirs, I think that could maybe sway some people. We're going to have to see how this plays out, but it's something that I thought was worth doing the video over for the simple fact that maybe people don't know about this, and or maybe they should know about it. You know, I think that this is something that will affect millions of people potentially, so I kind of wanted to get into it like as quickly as possible. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel and it means a lot to me personally. You know, I think that it's one of those things that a lot of people don't want to hear this kind of stuff, but the best way to support a small channel from like mine is a simple like. You can hit the bell so you're notified of all the content. You can also, you know, at the very least, you know, just go ahead and share it out or take a minute to consider subscribing. Shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, everybody in between. You guys have all been fantastic, and I'm very humbled by the support you've all shown me. With that being said, both these consoles are doing some phenomenal things, and yes, there's little trivial problems and things like that when it comes to the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. This might not be so trivial. I mean, there's little issues, like for one thing, with the Xbox Series X, for some reason, the software developer kits aren't exactly up to snuff, and, you know, there's some games that are going to be patched in later, quote unquote. Now, this is something that I feel like, you know, a lot of people are going to be talking about, and rightly so. You know, rightly so. I do think that it's something that at the end of the day, you know, more and more gamers are going to definitely be sort of talking about it, and more people are going to definitely be talking about it. But I also think that it makes sense for gamers to sort of talk about it, because you have to wonder, does one correlate with the other? Like, we haven't seen any gameplay of new games running on the Series X. Is that the reason? Is the reason why we haven't seen any gameplay because, you know, because those SDKs are so old and so hard to work with? And is that the reason why ray tracing isn't going to be implemented on numerous games until after the games actually launch? And I think that could be a problem as well. So again, with that being said, no consoles without problems, and now it looks like there's multiple games that aren't going to have the ability to have your saves carry over. Now, here's where this is a problem, right? So a lot of this has to do with like newer games, right? So okay, for example, Yakuza Like a Dragon. Now Dirt 5 has said that PS4 saves can't carry over to PS5. Earlier in the week, the developer of Yakuza Like a Dragon confirmed PS5 or PS4 save files can't be transferred over to the PS5 version. Now, Codemasters had said the same is true for Dirt 5, and Microsoft has obviously noticed. Currently on Xbox, all progress can be carried over between generations, Codemaster wrote on PlayStation. Your playground creations can be carried over, but other game progress, career currency, saved liveries cannot. If that changes, we'll let you know. As for Yakuza, there's no explanation for why Dirt 5 saves won't work on the next-gen version, despite the same game offering a free upgrade. So while you don't really have to buy the game a second time, you'll have to start your progress over from scratch. Now, what's the real issue here? What's going on? The difference between Playground Games data, which is stored on a server, and personal game progress may be a clue, and it looks like there's some kind of limitation on what the PS4 data can be accessed by a PS5 version. Although Sony can work around itself to offer save transfers on Spider-Man Miles Morales, which they've already confirmed that. So that one game only with Miles Morales, I don't think it has to do with your save game if you just played the regular Spider-Man. I don't think that save game can actually be transferred over, but Sony is the only one that can answer that. And in the meantime, Microsoft didn't let the opportunity slide by to get a little, you know, pop on social media saying, of course, Xbox offers full save transfers between generation and has been pretty transparent about its backwards compatibility and cross-gen support. And it says, we at Xbox put gamers first, according to Aaron Greenberg. Cloud saves at 4 generations of compatibility means I pick up right where I left off in Fallout 4 from the comfort of my Xbox Series X. So again, they're taking little shots back and forth at Sony for this, and I think, it kind of is what it is. I mean, they're able to do something that looks like Sony's not going to be able to do it. So overall, the jump from one console generation to the next hasn't been a super straightforward process for Sony. Even long before this announcement of the PS5, PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2 was perhaps a really smooth transition with games and accessories and save data all working back then. Now the transition to PS2 to PS3 was a little bit messier because the Emotion Engine enabled all kinds of different things. Now Microsoft is really pushing backwards compatibility message harder than ever before because they really lack stuff that's new. While Sony has admitted that 99% of existing PlayStation 4 library will run on the PlayStation 5, including various profiles on both base PS4 and PS4 Pro with a boost mode. And for titles that have both PS4 and PS5 version availables, you'll be able to put your existing disc into the console and have it act as a license key to download the PS5 version once it's released. However, that's only going to work if you want to play the PlayStation 5 enhanced version from the very beginning. There's multiple reports now from various developers that PlayStation 4 saves will not transfer to play on the PS5 version of the game, though no immediate explanations were given, and it could change in the file structure for saves of the PlayStation 5 or some other background change that Sony isn't ready to talk about yet. But if you plan on inserting your PS4 disc into a PlayStation 5 and playing the PS4 version of that game, it sounds like your saves should carry over, most likely through cloud storage. That's part of the PlayStation Plus membership. But the Twitter account for Yakuza confirmed that the findings that deny the transfer of save data between the two versions. And this is according to RGG Studios. To clarify, physical owners of Yakuza Like a Dragon on PS4 can also use the disc to upgrade to the PS5 version when it releases March 2nd, 2021. But save data will not be transferable between PS4 and PS5 versions of the game, and it also falls in line with Marvel's Miles Morales, where players will be able to upgrade Miles Morales from PS4 to PS5 for free, but the Peter Parker version, once again, the save data won't be able to transfer the generation. Now, according to Sega comms manager Jonathan Stebel, the Xbox Series X won't have the issues as what you will carry over, at least for Yakuza Like a Dragon. So whatever the deal is, I'm not really sure, but it does sound like they're having issues. Now, maybe it's just me, but it sounds like even maybe older games. Like, let's say, this is my big problem. I don't know if it's such a big problem if it's just these newer games, right? Like, if you were going to play Yakuza Like a Dragon, then just hold off then, right? Like, hold off until March. Just play it on the PlayStation 5 so you don't have to play, start all over, because you're going to have to start all over anyway. Same thing with Dirt 5. Just wait for it to come out with your PlayStation 5. Like, those things don't make a lot of sense to me. Like, the Spider-Man thing is a little bit questionable. But at the end of the day, not the end of the world. Now, if literally everything you have to start over, like, to be honest with you guys, like, I'm at the very end of Ghost of Tsushima, right? And I'm doing a lot of the side quests now, just having fun exploring. If I wanted to finish that game on the PlayStation 5, am I going to have to start all over? Like, that would be something that I would absolutely hate. You know what I mean? So my thing is, if these things should be able to carry over. Like, if I wanted to do New Game Plus on God of War from 2018, do I have to start all over and beat the game the first time again on the PS5? Like, that's the big questions that I'm asking here is, are any of these saves gonna save over? Because I think that would be a huge problem otherwise, because you have all these games, and it would be the same problem for Microsoft. Now, what is the point of having save files in the cloud if nothing is going to be able to save over? And hopefully Sony can come up with a workaround for this, like, as soon as possible, because I feel like that's something that needs to be done. And I also feel like, it's just one of those things where it's kind of a bummer. Like, I'm sitting there looking, like, I have hundreds of PlayStation 4 games that honestly, I have some that I have never even played, but I went heavy on buying games this gen because we all knew that everything would be backwards compatible. But if you can't pick up where you left off, that's a bit of a blow and a bit of a sting, in my opinion. So hopefully that's stuff that can get kind of adjusted, and we'll have to see how that works out. But yeah, it's a bit of a bummer for sure, and I hope that kind of stuff gets fixed in the future. But I know a lot of people were asking me about it, and so I don't know if that's going to be a game-changing thing for you personally or not. It's not going to make me not want to get a PS5, but it is something that now, Sony's acknowledged now as a problem, and it could be effective to people that have large libraries of older games. In particular, I have a bunch of VR games that are backwards compatible, obviously, and PlayStation VR is backwards compatible, but do I have to start over on all those games again? Like, that's the big question that I have going forward, and I think a lot of people have that same question. So it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out, and I would absolutely love everybody's thoughts and opinions on this. Please let me know down in the comment section below, or Twitter at @the_Crapgamer, PSN just Crapgamer, and I respond to everybody there. I have the app and everything, or MOH space Crapgamer on Xbox Live. So I appreciate it. Please take a minute to consider subscribing. I would love that. At the very least, hit the like button and share it out, that kind of stuff. It means the world to me. Please stay safe, happy, and healthy. Take care of one another. Game on, my friends. Game on. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.